Welcome, Mr. Gnome, and welcome to this crypto update. Now, we have an exciting update for you guys today because, as you can see, Bitcoin is pushing for new highs once again. And there's one thing that I noticed in the charts here, which is quite interesting. You know how I love my inverse head and shoulders patterns. Sometimes they play out, sometimes they don't. 80% of the time, roughly, they work. 20% of the time, they fail. In this case, I found something pretty funny, which is something like this. So this would be the left shoulder, and this $15,000 will be the head. And here we have the second shoulder, this last 6 months that we've been in. Now, if this plays out, take a look at the target price. The target price will be roughly $350,000. That would be pretty funny, no? I would like that. I hope you would like that also. Now, if you like this kind of updates, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and let's continue because we have a lot of news to cover, and then I will give you my short-term analysis as well. So that's just the long-term target. I know we had previous inverse head and shoulders in this area, and for that, the price target is 90K. So let's first go to 90K, and then let's talk about the rest of the stuff. But in order to get to 90K, I think there's going to be a bumpy road to get there first. Because right now, when we take a look at altcoins, you can see that a lot of the meme coins are just pumping very hard. You can see Solana is up 27% in the last week. You can see even Ethereum is starting to catch up with Bitcoin, 26% up. But Doge, holy moly, this is up 83% in a week. This is way past my price target of 22 cents. This is now 28 cents. At the moment. And then we have Shiba Inu going also pretty berserk. Then we have some other altcoins pumping, but Pepe is up 46%. And then I think I saw Bonk going up 40% as well. But most altcoins are still only going up like 30%, 35%, 40%, something like this. So altcoins, they are now outperforming Bitcoin at least for the last week. And this is a sign of retail investors coming back. Now, I don't know if retail investors are coming back in full force or if this is simply, they're just putting their Hail Mary money into the markets and then we will have another pullback. But all in all, this is a sign that markets are heating up. This heating up could last all the way until, I would say, January, when Trump takes office, and then I would expect some kind of cooling down. But to go before we get to that point, I think there are a few cooling points for sure. Now, talking about the news, there's a lot of news right now going on and circling around. Basically, who is going to stay in the White House, who is going to be kicked out. The most important part is that Gary Gensler, who almost everybody in crypto hates because he was very anti-crypto, very unclear about the regulation, and then started suing crypto companies. He is now basically being fired from his position, just like Donald Trump promised. So it seems like his term is coming to an end by the end of December. So this is very good news to see. But there's other people now talking about, well, are you going to be in the administration? Are you not going to be in the administration? So, for example, Jerome Powell, who is the head of the Federal Reserve, the president, Donald Trump, at least according to rumors, is basically looking to fire him also. But because the Federal Reserve is not actually part of the federal government, which is a separate matter, he's basically saying that no, he will not quit. That was pretty funny. And then obviously people in the X community and the previous presidential candidate who ran against Obama a few times, Ron Paul, libertarian, he is basically saying that, well, we cannot fire Jerome Powell, but to begin with, Federal Reserve is unconstitutional. So that's pretty funny that basically through a roundabout way, Donald Trump could fire Jerome Powell. But I don't think that's going to happen. There's still a lot of people who want to cling on to that uh, typical Republican control and the let's call it deep state or whatever. So definitely Federal Reserve is at the heart of the deep state debate. So I don't think they will have enough enough influence in the White House to actually just completely delete the Federal Reserve. But at least it's a fun topic to talk about and to speculate on. But there's a lot other people now going in. Some of the warmongers like Nikki Haley and what's his name, Mike Pompeo. Donald Trump has said that they will not be in his cabinet. So all in all, it's starting to look quite good, in my opinion, that maybe we will have some peace in the world once again. But in other news, we do have a UK pension fund who has now made headlines by allocating 3% of its assets to Bitcoin. And this is exactly, if you remember when I shared the news about BlackRock, they had a conference in Brazil basically showing portfolios if they just allocate 1% of their assets into Bitcoin, 3% or 5%. So it seems like at least this UK pension fund has done the middle ground from the BlackRock's presentation and allocated 3% into Bitcoin. So this is quite nice to see because this paves the way for other pension funds to do the same, kind of indicating that there's more institutional demand to maybe come to the market. Because I don't think if they've allocated 3%, I think they're going to keep it at 3%. So maybe they will start to sell if Bitcoin price goes higher. But at the same time, I think other pension funds will follow suit. So that net effect is going to be more purchasing. And when we take a look at the Bitcoin ETF holdings, unfortunately, we don't have the newest print on this website here. The newest print is just from November 8th, and the total number was 1,191,000 Bitcoin in Bitcoin ETFs across the globe. But when we actually go and take a look at the social value, this was absolutely insane. So take a look at the number here on the 7th of November, just the inflow into the American ETFs, $1.4 billion. This is an all-time record of inflow into Bitcoin ETFs on that day. But as you can see, on 8th of November, the inflows were much less already. So only $300 million, which is still nice, but you can see the slowdown of this effect. But all in all, it's still nice to see that ETFs are accumulating, more money is flowing into ETFs, because usually, price has to go, well, yeah, you understand that when money flows into ETFs, it should be considered that they want to expect higher prices. Now, unfortunately for me, for this video, Sentiment, I have a deal with the Sentiment platform. As you know, I use it for a long time, but as of now, my partnership is on pause. So I'm waiting for it to continue. So for fundamental analysis, let's use CryptoQuant for this time. So the bullish thing immediately that strikes to me is the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges. As you can see, even at this high $81,000 Bitcoin price, even now money is flowing out of Bitcoin exchanges. So this is bullish because this means that people want to accumulate Bitcoin. They don't want to deposit Bitcoin into exchanges. So overall, in my opinion, this is fundamentally good. And even now, Ethereum, which is catching up to Bitcoin finally, even this one is increasing its amount of Ethereum staked. So overall, this means that people are very bullish on Ethereum and they want to stake it for long-term gains. So this is obviously good. One key thing that I noticed here is from November 6th, take a look at the number of stablecoin inflow into exchanges, $2.6 billion. This was the largest number that I've ever seen on this chart. And this simply means when people want to deposit stablecoins into exchanges, they probably want to do something with that money. So this was a huge signal that altcoins might start pumping now. And after that, the inflows have withered down, only $140 million in inflows, and here only $20 million in inflows as of today. So overall, this is, here we can see $800 million inflows into exchanges. So this is obviously bullish for altcoins when we see people basically deploying their stablecoins through exchanges into different assets. So obviously this has been bullish. It doesn't mean it will continue to be bullish, but it's something to at least note that now basically the floodgates have been opened after the presidency is now cleared. And then one more thing that I did notice here, when we take a look at the Bitcoin inactive supply, 1 year inactive supply, you can see it peaked here at 70% of inactive supply. And that usually precedes right at the beginning of a exponential move to the upside, but that did not exactly happen. We did get an exponential move, but only until that $73,000 price mark here. And since then, we have seen the Bitcoin supply become more and more active. And right now, you can see that this has dropped in the last week to now 64%. And this still doesn't, at least to me, it doesn't scream that we are now in a bubble, but this typically likes to go to the downside much further, and then we will see the low basically at the peak of the price. That's when most of the supply is now, they have been moved over a 1 year period. So this typically happens at the peaks here, as you can see. So we still have quite a bit to go until this bull run is basically over. It seems to me that way, according to this chart here. Other things interesting, I guess realized market cap, you can see it's basically, what is this number now? 19, the 1 month R hodl number. We haven't seen a peak before this March 23 number here, or what is this, April, March, let's say March 23. Okay. Previously, you can see a massive peak here in 2017, and then we saw another peak here in 2021. So all in all, we are not at a peak, at least according to this chart here. So overall, it seems like we still have ways to go in this bull market, and now that the money gates are open, I do expect this to basically go into some form of a mini mania. So that will be good for altcoins, obviously. Now, which altcoins should we buy, or what's the situation if the market? Let's actually go, before I show that, to basically calm down the horses a little bit. So when we take a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and we're currently looking at the 1 week view, you can see that unfortunately right now we do not have a lot of people shorting Bitcoin. So most of the liquidity is basically below us, right at the price of $75,400. This is the heat zone where maybe we will see a massive drop in price before we see a continuation to that 90K mark that I'm looking at. It would be very nice if we see this massive drop in price, and not just, right, like plus 5%, plus 2%, plus 3% every single day. That's what I hate the most. I like to see these massive pullbacks every now and then, just so that it's the bull market is sustained over a period of time, so that the mania basically can flow into altcoins, where we see most of the gains eventually. If Bitcoin just marches to 90K so fast, then I don't think altcoins have a chance to catch up. So altcoin holders will be just completely annoyed. And then when a Bitcoin starts crashing, then altcoins just don't have a chance to basically catch up to Bitcoin, and altcoin holders just lose money overall. So that's why I do want to have, I do want to see a pullback on Bitcoin, just not marching completely to 90K without any pullbacks. So $75,000. This would be the perfect time to long Bitcoin once again. So consider that as well in your trading. When we take a look at other time frames, 2 week, let's see what we can find here. Basically the same thing. We see the heat is $75,000, 74,500, roughly there. It kind of ends, withers out. Then we do see quite a bit here, but yeah, I don't think price will go that low anymore. At least above 73,700. I don't think price will go here again, or below this number again. And the reason is because this was the previous all-time high level here. So anything basically above $74,000, that would be the perfect time to get to long Bitcoin. But right now, I do want to see a beautiful pullback first before I trade Bitcoin. I did try to short Bitcoin a few times and I just lost money on it. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna short Bitcoin. Unfortunately, the I would like to see that pullback so I can get and open my longs once again. But now talking about altcoins or Bitcoin price in short term, let's go to the automatic and let's go to the 4-hour view. This did not play out for that thing here. Let's go to the daily view. We are seeing a breakout here on the RSI to the overbought territory. Let's go to the 1-hour view. If I see anything interesting here. Not really. No. Just on the chart, it could go either way. It could just continue marching to the upside, but I really would like to see that pullback back to this yellow line here, or this previous all-time high level here, 73,700. But $74,000, $75,000, I would like to see that. Just if we go to 90K, obviously that will be fun also. But then I don't think altcoins have a chance to catch up. I think Bitcoin will have a massive pullback by then already. So overall, that is the market. We are now in the middle of the bull market, so that's one thing that you have to understand. So definitely, if you are just holding stable coins, well, you can still continue to hold stable coins and wait for some kind of pullback. But what kind of pullback are you expecting for Bitcoin? Because I'm not expecting this previous all-time high level to be broken to the downside anymore now that Donald Trump is president, at least anytime soon, if the economy doesn't start crashing for whatever reason. So overall, that's basically the update. There's some altcoins that I do want to talk about. So there's only a handful of altcoins that I'm focusing in this bull market, and the reason is that there's so many altcoins to choose from, and it's hard to keep track of different altcoins or new altcoins that pop into the market. But if I focus on a handful of altcoins that have performed well in the past, that I understand deeply, I rather trade those few selected ones and then focus on them rather than big new winners here and there. So the first one I do want to talk about is LDO. So LDO is up 27%, but as you can see in the last 24 hours, it had a significant pullback, 10%. So this was at $1.4. So I think it's once again time to buy LDO. And when we take a look at the price of LDO, you can see that it broke through this downward channel already. The price went all the way up to this channel high, and now it had that pullback. Let's take a look at what's the actual pullback, 17% to the downside. And right now, it's kind of deciding if the price wants to, have a bounce from this level because it's at this kind of range low at the moment, or if the price wants to go back to this yellow line here. And if the price goes to the yellow line, this will be an amazing time to buy LDO, because this is the exact chart that Doge had before it had that massive wild breakout. But even at this price point, $1.2, $1.25, I think it's massively undervalued. I think this will go to at least $1.9. And when we take a look at the chart here, you can see if we follow this highest line here, like $1.9 would be roughly here. So I think that is at least where this price will go, and that will be a nice 50% potential here. If you're using leverage, it could be more, but you could also lose money if you do leverage. So be careful with that. But LDO is one. Another one that I do have a strong opinion on is T-Fuel. And T-Fuel is kind of in a similar place. First, it had this breakout already. Now we basically were at this channel low here, and now we are breaking out of this structure. We could still go to the downside here, so that is the risk that you are taking. I don't think it will go lower than this price low here, though. But the potential upside is all the way here to like 0.095, maybe. And if obviously if we break this massive long downward trend line, then it can go multiples to the upside. So T-Fuel, it's an AI coin, so it's kind of using that narrative for its benefit, but I don't know if many people know about it, because I know a lot of the retails, they're just interested in meme coins. So this could have some potential if you're just interested in altcoins. I did put some chips here on T-Fuel. Let's see how it goes. Then Doge, let's quickly take a look at Doge. So Doge, this went higher than my expected price. So we saw this inverse head and shoulders pattern here. And the price target for that was 22 cents. And we got the price target. But now we have basically surpassed that price target already. And now we're looking at $0.3 already. That was the peak for now. Right now, I'm a little bit scared to invest in Doge because the pump was absolutely nuts here, like 200%. So it's a little bit, let's say, too heated for me to like it anymore. And it kind of, I don't know, it's too heated, let's say that. So if Bitcoin has a pullback, I think Doge will have a much bigger pullback. So I would rather get back into Doge after a massive pullback rather than just throw money at it, hoping it will do another 2x. So that's just my opinion right now, but you may have a different opinion. Let's take a look at the, well, it kind of has broken out of this structure, so maybe it can go even higher from here. So yeah, I can see why people would stockpile money into Doge from this price point, but it's just not something that I feel comfortable with. But talking about meme coins, there's one meme coin that I do want to talk about because it has not outperformed, or it is underperforming almost all of the other meme coins on the market, and that is the MAGA Trump meme coin. So the market cap here currently is $57 million. And when we take a look at the all-time price of this token, you can see the all-time price was at June, and it was like $16, $17 here. So the price currently is down. Where is it? All-time high $17, but the price is down, I think, 93% from its all-time high. I saw it on CoinGecko. I'm using Livecoin for this video, but all in all, it's down massively from its June high. So maybe, in my opinion, I think MAGA will have another peak right when Donald Trump finally steps into office. But as of now, I don't think this will go to zero, but I don't know how low it will go either. But as you can see, it's basically at this low here at the moment. So I put a little bit money here, not just a couple $1,000s, not more than that. So let's see how that goes. But it seems like a very undervalued meme coin. And I think MAGA will come back when he's stepping into office. But let's see. Let's see how that goes. I know there's like a gazillion meme coins I could be talking about, but I don't really understand the fundamentals at all. So it's just like if I see something massively undervalued compared to other meme coins, then that might be interesting. Pepe only up 4% today compared to Doge, but I don't know. I'm not that into meme coins, to be honest. I rather trade assets that I understand, like LTO. I'm just trying to see if I can see something interesting here. Dex Tools is actually down 5% today. Let's take a look at the price of Dex Tools. So this is the, yeah, it's only, this is underperforming other assets, it seems to me. Most of the supply is already out in the market, but a lot of unlocks still, like 50% more. Almost. or sorry, 30% of the supply is not in the market yet. But will it do 2x? Previous high is quite close. But once it reaches that, it could start flying way higher. And this is only $74 million market cap, and it actually has some utility, and it's in the meme coin sphere. Dex tools might be a decent pick, to be honest. Some other ones that I want to talk about, not really. No, cannot see anything too interesting here. Yeah, that's about it for the market update. So we expect Bitcoin to go higher. I would like to see a pullback, but I don't know if we will get if we get to see that pullback or not. That would be an amazing, and then we might go all the way to 350. That would be insane. But let's get to 90K first, then I will give a my opinion if we can go higher than that. But just keep this in mind. It's interesting at least. Thanks for watching this video. And by the way, I'm affiliated with Bybit. So if you want to trade professionally, if you want to trade with leverage, and you want to have the best tools available, I think Bybit is the best exchange. And I have the link in the description for that if you are looking to trade professionally. So thanks for watching, and bye bye.